re-signing Chelsea, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it's pretty special. To be with this club from the very beginning of the AFLW competition, it's pretty surreal having left family and friends behind in WA, and to then stay here, and it's just pretty special. Like I love this footy club and love the people in and around it, and a lot of people have invested a lot of time and energy into me, and I'm just forever grateful for that, and for the club for always believing in me, and I still feel like I can perform at a high level and contribute to this team. So I'm really stoked to be able to play for another 2 more years.
10 years by the time your contract's finished. Can you imagine it when you first came over here?
No, in all honesty. I think my very first thoughts coming over to Adelaide in the AFLW competition was I was just making sure that this AFLW competition was here to stay, just because they gave us this competition. I had this belief that they could take it away from us. So I just, as an individual, and I think as a lot of female footballers who just wanted to play at the elite level for so long, to finally have that opportunity, you're just forever grateful in that retrospect. So to be here now, or hopefully for this for that amount of time, for 10 years, it's pretty surreal. I mean, I didn't have the luxury of being drafted at 18. I was 25 when I was able to come across to AFLW, and so I feel like I've missed out on 7 years, which is, I just want to make the most of every single minute in this elite system, because it's pretty incredible, and I just got the best job in the world, and it's pretty awesome. So I wouldn't change my pathway into the AFLW and the experiences I had before AFLW, but definitely amazing.
This club heading into a transition period in Doc's last season as well. Was that another factor in you wanting to stay here as a leader of the club to help through that transition period?
Oh, I think, Doc's one of my most favourite coaches I've ever had, not just because he's standing here. You can pay me $50 later, mate.
Another 50?
But no, I've loved learning from Doc, and his leadership and everything, and his belief in me as a player. And I think that's just probably given me more belief that I can continue to keep playing for a little bit longer. So I'd love for him to stick around, but he's finishing up this year, so hopefully I can just continue to keep everyone together and continue to keep playing some good footy.
Does it make you sad that your final season, whenever that does come, won't be with Doc by your side?
I'm sure he'll be there. He'll just be up on the hill having a few bevies or something instead.
Not many 34-year-olds sign 2-year extensions. What's been key to your longevity and being able to keep your body young?
In all honesty, just surrounding yourself with good people. I think this footy club is made up of so many of them, and this footy club allows me to, look after my body, and they prioritise that in terms of whatever I need to get it up and running for game day. But also, just the support I've had both on the field and off the field. Having worked in the men's program as a development coach for the last 3 years now, my knowledge of the game, has really grown. And some of the coaches I've learnt from, not only Doc but just in the men's system, and some of the players as well, has really enhanced that. So I feel like I'm a coach out there with my teammates, and able to help direct traffic out there a little bit more as well, which is handy. So
Can you see yourself having Doc's job one day?
He's pretty amazing at what he does, to be honest. So if I could be even just the smallest glimpse of a kind of coach that he is, then that would be amazing. But we'll see what will be. But for now, I just enjoy playing footy for another couple of years.
You said about having that almost intrinsic fear that someone's going to take the game away from you. How long did it take for that to go? How long did it take for you to realise this league's here to stay?
It was 2019 grand final day when 53,034 people turned up. For me, I was on the bench, and I remember seeing the official attendance pop up, and I just got up out of my seat and did a 360 to the crowd, and just thanked everyone, because they weren't just showing up for footy, they were showing up for female sport, they were showing up for the next generation, they were showing up for changing the views of society of what a girl can and cannot do. So it was a powerful moment for I think every woman, and yeah, it was just showed me that you didn't have to, I guess you could stop proving people wrong, and you could actually just go out there and play with freedom and not have the weight of what felt like the world on your shoulders at the time.
Doc, Phil Harper in the press release described Chelsea as a heart and soul player. Can you expand on that and what she's meant to the club?
She's been really central to transforming our club, ultimately. I think AFLW has been the best thing to happen to our club since I've been involved, and I don't think that transformation would have been anywhere near as radical as it has been if it hadn't been for Chelsea and others, obviously. But I feel like she was probably one of the two of the central figures in just creating an unbelievable change for this football program and obviously the league more broadly. But yeah, she's heart and soul, because she plays in a manner that just inspires the teammates, inspires the people that are coming along to watch, makes them want to be associated, involved with it, brings an enormous passion to the game, which is what footy is about. It's why we love the sport, and I think she epitomises that. It's one of the reasons I became involved. I watched one clip of her play, and I was asked to help the rucks. The rucks went up, the ball went over there, and then this meteor attacked it at a speed and with a ferocity that I hadn't seen before. So I thought, okay, there might be something going on here, which was so she's been pretty critical.
With some of the leadership attributes that you just touched on, do you think she could one day follow in your footsteps and maybe be a
if she wants to coach, she'll be able to coach, absolutely, and she's already done that and is doing that within our men's program. And yeah, obviously, as she highlighted, her technical understanding of the game has increased through that process, but her ability to lead and her ability to understand the dynamics of groups and how to bring them together and to make them great is that probably hasn't needed to be enhanced. She'd had that already. So the foundations of being a great coach are well and truly there. But ultimately, I'm really happy that she's playing footy for 2 more years, because there's lots of time to be a coach. There's only a short window to be a player, and so for anyone that I've been worked alongside, I always say, well, just squeeze every last ounce out of the playing days, because they'll pass soon enough. And Chelsea's, by her performance, deserves to play for as long as she wants to, really. So I'm really rapt that she's going to continue to do that.
Chelsea spoke about how your coaching has helped her coaching journey so far. How about vice versa? How has she made you a better coach? Yeah,
I think probably one of the things would be don't forget to let the players play, to be instinctive and to be creative out there, and to let their natural flair and freedom for the game show through. I reckon early in those first year or two, Chelsea would do some things out on the ground which I would go, you're making life harder for yourself there, because you're flying back into a pack that you don't necessarily have to. And I can remember talking to her about it after a game, and then in the very next game I saw her hesitate, and I went, oh no, what a horrible thing I've done. I've taken away something that's exceptional about her, the way that she plays, by trying to gear it towards maybe what I deem to be a more strategically sensible move at that moment. So I think you do have to provide structure to players, but you also need to let them play with freedom.
Big week for the club against Hawthorn.
Yes, yeah, it's quite serendipitous, probably not the right word, but anyway.
What are you expecting from?
Yeah, well, they're 4-0, and they're playing a really. Their games have been a little more defensive. Last year they played a really attacking, free-flowing style. They're still looking to do that, but the thing that's been helping them win has been their defensive shape and structure. So they're in good order. They've got a lot of talent, well balanced across the park. They got good access to young talent in there when they entered the competition, and they've put the time into those players. So they're starting to show through, and yeah, it's going to be a great challenge. We're in a slightly unusual position that we're having to fight pretty early in the season to keep our head above water. But I'm really enjoying that. I'm enjoying the way that our players are embracing that and attacking that. So, obviously, we had our chances last week, but the way that they've attacked the season after a slow start has been really pleasing. And hey, I'm looking forward to see how we go over these next 8 weeks.
How do you reflect on that final quarter of last week against Brisbane?
Yeah, well, they jagged a couple of goals early, got the field position. There was a bit of a breeze, and then from that moment we made the decision to play a relatively defensive approach, and it held up for a good chunk of the quarter, but it just didn't quite hold up long enough. So on reflection, probably we could have stayed perhaps a little bit more proactive and aggressive for another minute or two, but the game said that we needed to defend, and sometimes you just get a little unlucky. You know, we got a little lucky earlier in the game with a couple of decisions that went our way. We maybe got a little unlucky at the end, but that balances out. I think ultimately we didn't deserve the win, and so we get a chance this week to try and remedy that and see if we can get another one.
Second game this season where you haven't scored a goal in the final quarter.
Yeah.
Do you read into that much? Do you think there's an issue finishing off the games, or does it just come down to strategy?
Yeah, we had another one where we kicked 7, so I don't read too much into it, to be fair. No, I think ultimately, as I said, we missed a couple of chances to attack early in the game, in that quarter, I should say, and then we played a little defensive for the back end. Reality of AFLW is you get a 17-minute quarter. It can happen. You know, I go along to the men's games and the quarters tick up to 33, 34 minutes, and you go, there's a fair chance that you get a score if you're out there for double the length of time. So, not too concerned about that.
Chelsea, can I just ask, as a leader of the club, sorry, I don't think you've spoken about it publicly, but how challenging was a couple of weeks ago with Isaac on you, and I guess I'm sure a lot of that would have fallen on your shoulders in terms of dealing with that with the whole playing group. Yeah,
obviously, challenging time for the footy club and for a few people, but Isaac made a mistake, and we had some really good conversations, one-on-one as well, and he addressed our group, and he's obviously paying a price for it, but I think we all just try to continue to keep learning and growing, and we understand how powerful language is, and I guess it's all of us, everyone in the community. It's all of our responsibility to continue to learn and grow and get better in that space. So I think that's something that we can all continue to keep striving for as a community, and how awesome is footy, that it's a platform that it can actually provide a space for people to continue to learn and grow, not be stuck in, I guess, some of the old ways, and just move forward together.
What would you like those discussions to lead to? What would you hope would be the good outcome that can come from?
I think so. Often when you go through something hard, whether that be as a team or individually, or as a community, it's always, sometimes you have to go through something hard first in order to actually get out and just be the best version of ourselves. And so sometimes when I look at things like this, you kind of can look at it and go, oh, that's disappointing. But for me, I just find it as an opportunity to go, great, we actually just build some resilience here. We bring everyone together, and we actually continue to keep growing and learning. Because when you go through something hard, I feel like you actually end up in a better spot and a better place once you've all gone through it. So for me, it's an opportunity for all of us to continue to keep learning and growing.
I think change will happen, yeah? So we will get better as a club, as a society, off the back of incidents like this. Because when I think about when I was growing up as a kid, the language that we deemed acceptable was far from acceptable. We just didn't have the awareness and the realisation of the impact that it has. So now we have a much better understanding, and particularly in this environment, we should, because we're highly educated. So if that can be the first step, then good. And the place will get better, this place will get better, and hopefully society more broadly. So it's, as much as it hurts and it's not fun, we'll come out the other side and we'll be better for it.